Hello, and welcome back to Timeless Tales and Stories. Today, I want to share an inspiring story about the power of forgiveness, set in a serene village guided by the wisdom of Buddhist monks. It's a tale of letting go of past hurts and finding peace. So sit back, relax, and let's start with our enlightening story. In a tranquil village, nestled between rolling hills and peaceful rice fields, lived an elderly Buddhist monk named Dorji, renowned for his wisdom and compassion. Dorji had dedicated his life to teaching the villagers the principles of peace, mindfulness, and forgiveness. One day, a young man named Sonam arrived at the monastery, his heart burdened with anger and resentment. Years ago, Sonam's family had been wronged by a neighboring villager, Dechen, who had falsely accused them of theft. The accusation led to years of hardship for Sonam's family, and Sonam had carried the weight of this bitterness ever since. Dorji welcomed Sonam warmly and offered him tea. As they sat in the garden, Sonam shared his story, his voice trembling with emotion. "I cannot forgive Dechen for what he did to my family," he confessed. "The pain is too deep." Dorji listened quietly, then spoke. "Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. Yet, you're the one who gets burned." Determined to help Sonam find peace, Dorji suggested a journey. "There's a sacred spring high in the mountains," he said. "The water there is said to have the power to cleanse the spirit. Perhaps a pilgrim to the spring will help you find the peace you seek." Reluctantly, Sonam agreed. They set off early the next morning, their path winding through a dense forest and over rugged terrain. The journey was not easy. On the first night, they stayed in a small village. There, Dorji introduced Sonam to an elderly woman named Pema. Pema had experienced great wrongs in her life and had never been able to forgive those who had hurt her. Her face was etched with lines of bitterness, and her heart was heavy with anger. She spoke of sleepless nights, ongoing disputes, and the toil that holding on to grudges had taken on her health and happiness. Sonam was deeply affected by Pema's story. He saw firsthand the misery that an unforgiving heart could bring, and he realized the destructive power of holding on to anger. On the second night, they reached another village where they met a family who had also faced significant hardships. However, unlike Pema, this family had chosen the path of forgiveness. They had let go of their grievances, and their home was filled with laughter and love. The father, who had forgiven a grievous wrong, explained how forgiveness had brought peace and healing to their lives. "Forgiveness is not for the other person," he said. "It is for your own peace of mind and happiness." Sonam was struck by the contrast between Pema's bitterness and the family's joy. He began to understand that forgiveness was not just about the past, but how it shaped the present and the future. On the third day, they encountered a storm that forced them to take shelter in a cave. The howling winds and the torrential rain mirrored the turmoil within Sonam's heart. Dorji suggested they meditate, focusing on the sound of the storm. "Just as the storm will pass, so too will your anger if you allow it," Dorji said. The next day, they reached a rickety bridge. As they crossed, the bridge swayed dangerously, testing Sonam's courage and trust. "Trust in the journey," Dorji advised. "Sometimes the path to forgiveness is precarious, but it is necessary to cross it to find peace." Finally, after several days, they reached the sacred spring. The water was crystal clear, reflecting the sky like a mirror. Dorji knelt by the spring and began to meditate. Following his lead, Sonam did the same, closing his eyes and focusing on his breath. As he meditated, memories of the past surfaced, each hurtful word, each moment of injustice. But alongside these memories, Sonam began to recall moments of kindness and love from others. He remembered the support of his family, the friends who had stood by him, and the resilience he had developed. Tears streamed down his face as he realized that holding on to his anger was preventing him from fully embracing these positive aspects of his life. In that moment of clarity, Sonam felt a profound sense of release. He dipped his hands into the spring and let the cool water wash over him, symbolizing the cleansing of his spirit. When he opened his eyes, Dorji was smiling. Forgiveness is not about condoning what was done, Dorji said softly. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of the past. It's about finding peace within. With a lighter heart, Sonam and Dorji returned to the village. Sonam felt a profound sense of calm and purpose. This story teaches us that forgiveness is a journey, often requiring patience and introspection. It's not about forgetting the past, but about releasing its hold on us so we can move forward with a lighter heart. Reflect on the grudges you may be holding on to. Consider how they affect your well-being and relationships. Imagine the peace that could come from letting go. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about finding peace within yourself, freeing yourself from the burden of anger and allowing yourself to heal and grow. Thank you for joining me today on Timeless Tales and Stories. If you found this story inspiring, please like the video and share it with someone who might benefit from a little encouragement today. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this one. Stay positive, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.